You have somebody at 32 experiencing these symptoms and then somebody at 52 experiencing these symptoms. That's a whole lot of life. That's a whole lot of life. And then to have menopause, which I was informed is the day it goes black. I don't believe it, but let's go with it. And then you're postmenopause. But I know women who are 66 and 67 who are still experiencing symptoms of menopause.
This ain't your average healing chat. It's healing through conversations with me, Lovely Brown. Real talk, deep healing, zero fluff.
Hey guys, this is your girl Lovely with Lovely Esteem. Okay. Hey guys, this is your girl Lovely, your infidelity recovery and confidence rebuilding coach. And welcome back to the Healing Through Conversations podcast. The last video, I talked about perimenopause, the symptoms, because I was feeling some kind of way. But I wanted to also give you some management and relief tips that are out there. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a person going through perimenopause. And I want to talk to you about ways that I have kind of helped myself relieve some of the symptoms because to each his own, that is the best statement I've heard with regards to this particular thing. And with regards to perimenopause, I don't want to call it a particular thing because we know what we're talking about. We got to name it in order to claim it. Let me put this on. I was feeling patchy. Okay, so some of the management and relief tips that have helped me out, but that are listed for us to really look at is to focus on a balanced diet. What does that mean? Because all of us have a different idea of what balance looks like. All of us have different taste buds. All of us like different foods. So trying to cut out some of, right? Because when you take away everything and now you are having hot flashes and you hangry and you can't have your favorite food, who is going to get it's about to be a what? A girl fight, okay? But they want you to limit your caffeine. So if you are a coffee drinker, yeah, now what I said, if you only got 2 hours of sleep, is that coffee really helping you out or is it saving the world? You got to think about those things. Cutting out alcohol. Now, I will have a cup of coffee maybe once or twice a week, but I stopped drinking alcohol altogether because I wanted to really show myself I wanted to challenge myself with discipline. I wanted to start saving some more money. So that was a way I could cut out $16 drinks because it's insane right now. But also it was a way for me to cut out some of the empty calories that really weren't helping me out. And I know you can have alcohol, just limit what you're doing. Processed sugar. It is my weakness. I am working so hard. However, I am a brownie girl. And if I don't really have brownies around me, I won't go in. I like hot bread. Num, num, Texas Roadhouse. Num, 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 num. I don't want the food. I just want the bread. But those things can worsen your hot flashes and your mood swings because your body is spending a lot of time trying to digest and process the processed sugar, maybe the alcohol, which does turn into sugar sometimes, and the caffeine because of the way it affects your body, but also because we usually put sugars and creams and dairies in those things. Exercise regularly. What that means for you. If it's walking, walk. If it's dancing, dance. If it's chair yoga, maybe you are a Pilates girl and that's where you're going in. And really pay attention to your bone density because a lot of us, as we get older, we do lose calcium. That is just a studied fact, right? But realizing that without having healthier bones, without having that vitamin D in your body, with our hormones fluctuating, we have to kind of add back in any way possible. Hopefully, is organic or holistic as possible, depending on where you are. If you're in a food desert, eat your canned green beans, eat the canned corn, eat like that's what I'm saying. Like we have to really be very open and honest about what perimenopause looks like for different people in different areas. Some people have lots of leafy greens around them, other people don't. And you can't discriminate or make a person feel bad because they're somewhere where these things aren't there. Maintain weight. We know through perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause that that is a damn lie. Okay. Now, yes, there are lots of things out here to help us maintain weight, but it also costs money to do that. And not eating does not equal losing weight or maintaining weight. And easing stress. Listen, we're all out here trying not to skip, skip, right? We're all out here trying not to do that. But finding small pockets of spaces in your life where you can either eliminate stress or decrease the stress. That's why I say, follow me, guys. We talk about this all the time, what it looks like to really find your peace so that you can find those moments of joy and reduce the amount of stress that we are allowing in our lives. Sometimes it's the people that's around us we got to let go of, places around us that we got to let go of, and things around us that we have to let go of. Sleep hygiene. Trying to go to sleep, trying to cut back on your electronics when you're going to sleep. I hear that you need to cut out the blue in your room. The blue actually helps me go to sleep and it makes me feel better. But having a cool room, maybe having a regular bedtime, avoiding screens before sleep, but maybe that's the way you fall asleep. Magnesium and herbal teas, maybe some chamomile tea, those things may help. Maybe even ginger root tea because then it'll also help with your gut health. You know what I mean? So like that's what we're trying to do. Staying hydrated. But listen to me. If you are already going to the bathroom 3 to 4 times a minute, pay attention to the amount of salt that you're pulling into your body and the amount of water that you're putting into your body because if you are constantly wiping in an area that is already irritated, mm, 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 mm. But we know staying hydrated helps you mind your business and it also helps you reduce bloat and it helps you with your skin. And when you feel good about what's happening on the outside of your body, you know that the inside of your body is also um receiving those same nutrients. Stress and mood support. I always talk about trying to find ways that you as a person can add in mindfulness practices because I think that for a long time in the wellness spaces, we were just being screamed at about what we were doing. And if we weren't doing it this particular way, it wasn't working for us with regards to like meditation, breath work, journaling, prayer, affirmations, mantras, right? But you have to find what works well for you and what combination works well for you. Maybe when you're meditating, you like to paint. Maybe when you're meditating or you're praying, you like to do crossword puzzles or you like to crochet. Maybe when you're praying, you're playing music, right? It's all of these different ways for us to really help regulate our mood swings because we are doing things that bring us joy, right? So we have a little bit of that dopamine and a little less of that cortisol that's kind of kicking in. Therapy, support groups. I'm talking about perimenopause now, but that's because I had to learn about it. I had to go through it. At 49, you return 50. I know I still have such a long way to go, but I didn't want to be experiencing something and watching other people experience something and not talking about it because it just seems like something we should be talking about. So, groups or therapy, being around supportive people who affirm where you are in your life, who have either been there or are on the same journey, people who will validate your feelings, your wants, your needs, and emotions, people who are open to listening to what you have to say, people who can sympathize and have empathy towards you, self compassion, understanding the way they feel, they can relate, you guys can relate that way. Maybe you have some self care rituals, a warm bath. For some of us, we turn into water colder and colder as we get older. I love a great skin routine. Whenever I get to take care of my skin, this whole organism that is really keeping everything together. I just feel so spiritually connected to myself, and I feel like I'm healing a part of me. So that is something that I love to do, which brings me joy. Aromatherapy. Maybe you're a person who likes eucalyptus, you may like lavender, sage may be your thing, rosemary. You may be a person who needs maybe strawberries your thing. Do what works for you. Everything isn't for everybody. But all of these things signal to your body that it can calm down and that you are okay. And I am not a doctor, but studies have shown that some people may benefit from having hormone therapy or being prescribed estrogen or progesterone, or being prescribed progesterone therapy. I have not had any of those things done thus far, nor do I know anyone who has had them done. So I can't speak on that, but it is something that they talk about. Non hormonal medication, certain antidepressants may work. You're talking to your doctor, then you're talking to your therapist, and then you're getting a second and third opinion. This is your body you're talking about. Don't just take medication all willy nilly unless you really need it, right? Like you're going to make sure that what you're going to be on isn't going to give you side effects that's worse than what you're going through. Certain blood pressure medicines may also help. We're looking at ways that we can ease those hot flashes and mood swings. For some people, it's putting pads on their head, around their neck, maybe on their wrist. That for me has been so life changing. Just adding like a ice pack, a cold pack on the areas, not on my boobs, because nobody needs that. You don't need frozen nipples like that. That would send me over the edge. And remembering that we need to be supplementing our bodies with the hormones that we're losing. Calcium and vitamin D for bone loss. Maybe we're taking vitamin B for energy and mood. Black cohosh, red clover, and even evening primrose oil. I know that one of my girlfriends, she is checking that out and really kind of seeing how that works. For some women, they find relief, but there's still mixed results because, again, we are all just learning how to deal with this and having these super open conversations. And in light of that, let's talk about our sexual and vaginal health. Not being ashamed that you need moisturizers or lubricants in order to find fulfillment and intimacy, realizing that you may have to you may have to prep in order to get to the next step. Your partner may have to do more to get you to the level of excitement that keeps you stimulated for a long time. Or you may have to say, hey, I need you to reduce all of that because I can't handle it. I'm too sensitive now. It's not making me feel any better. I'm like stuck on 8 and I can't get over and I want to go back under. So, like realizing that pelvic floor exercises, Kegels, what helping to strengthen your bladder, which then helps you with the urge to have to pee all the time, which then helps you feel more secure about that area of your body. See, that's why I'm saying, like, sometimes we get stuck in a space where we are embarrassed to talk about these things. And it's not. Perimenopause just is another puberty for us, right? It's not the end. It's just another puberty, another transition. And it's a powerful stage in our lives where we have to relearn our body, learn how to advocate for our health, to embrace supportive practices, to embrace communities that are talking about these things, to understand that you are not alone in this particular fight because if you got a sister to your left and a sister to your right and y'all the same age, all of y'all going through it. So give yourself some grace, right? Because we're going to move through this. We're going to move through this. We have to move through this, right? I want to be here, but there's the sun will come out tomorrow. Anyway, let me know if you want me to do it like a worksheet with some tips and tricks, maybe some affirmations that we can do together to really just bond while we're going through this stage of our lives. I am absolutely willing to do that. You guys know I am always like fighting for us to advocate for ourselves. So I am always pushing us to articulate our feelings, wants, needs, and desires so that we can advocate for ourselves and the people that we love. And we should love us enough to really have these super open and honest conversations. Like we we deserve to know what's going on with our bodies, but we also deserve to be in a sisterhood where it's not a secret, it's not shame, it's not guilt, right? Because you have somebody at 32 experiencing these symptoms and then somebody at 52 experiencing these symptoms. That's a whole lot of life. That's a whole lot of life. And then to have menopause, which I was informed is the day it goes black. I don't believe it, but let's go with it. And then you're postmenopause. But I know women who are 66 and 67 who are still experiencing symptoms of menopause. So that's a lot of life from your 30s to your 70s, right? It's a lot of life. And having sisterhood and connective conversations, being in a space where we can talk to each other. I hope I haven't had anything in my teeth the whole time, but learning how to have these conversations with each other so that we do not feel alone and so that our little sisters and then our big sisters understand that sometimes we need to give each other a little more patience and grace throughout the day. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you need me to do another video on a particular section because I am always willing to do that. You guys be good, stay cool, and don't hurt nobody. Lovely out. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you found some healing, connection, and joy. Until next time, bye, loves.